Hi, Bullockhead here, and this is my video just as promised to discuss the set redesign and what I think the pros and cons of sets are now. So let's check it out. Okay, jumping right into it. Sets used to be one large ability that had multiple facets. And what they have done is they have taken those facets and they've broken them apart into different skills and abilities. So now each set has its own skill. You level it up independently, and you star up each set independently. So the star ranking no longer dictates the skill's ability, it's now the skill ranking. However, there is a limit, so you cannot level abilities past a certain star ranking. So for example, my Guarded In, as you can see, this requires 3 stars before I can level it up again. So let's go back and let's look at the overview of all the different sets. So first, let's look at the Raft Raiders. The Raft Raiders is still the pirate set. It has 3 different abilities. So first of all, it's still the same assisting mechanic. So whenever a pirate hero deals damage to a foe, one random hero, doesn't have to be a pirate, has a 10% chance to assist and deal damage. So let's go ahead and look at the upgrades all the way up to level 5. Whenever a pirate hero deals damage to a foe, one random hero has a 25% chance to assist and deal 30% damage. If they're a pirate hero, that chance jumps up to 40%, so a little less than half the time. 30% damage. 30% damage is significantly better than what it was, which was 10% damage all the time. So this could be a benefit to the pirates. However, there is still the problem of the countering mechanic. Remember, anytime you assist, you're opening yourself up to a counter. So if you are attacking someone with a passive counter like Cactus Girl or someone with payback, you're really going to open yourself up to a lot of damage by having these passive assists. So for this reason, I think that it's good for pirates, but I'm not sure that it's game breaking. The second ability is Sea Dogs. It's a passive. So before the patch release and the set redesign, every set used to increase for 2 turns a particular stat: attack, defense, speed up, and I think grit up. No, accuracy up. Well, they've removed those. There's no longer that always get this passive stack. So now they've changed it to a % chance. And they've removed it from some of the other ones. So % chance to gain attack up 1 for 1 turn. So if we go ahead and look at set 5, level 5, 35% chance, attack up 2 for 2 turns. Pirate heroes also gain skill up 2 for 3 turns. Not terrible, though there are different ways to get skill up for pirates. I'm thinking particularly Redbeard. But attack up 2 for 2 turns, that will increase your damage. So it is something you might notice, but you won't be able to set up any of your big combos in that 2 turns really. And the last is you landlubbers. So I haven't unlocked these, so I can't look at the level 5 star, but let's take a look at the ability anyway. So at the start of battle, each foe has a 25% chance to be inflicted with Grit Down for 1 turn. So Grit Down means they're more likely to get status debuffs. So at the beginning of the battle, each foe, so I can imagine that it'll look something similar to this one, where it'll be Grit Down 2, 35% chance for 2 turns by the end of it. So I imagine it'll look something like that. So that's the Raft Raiders. Overall, I would say that it's an okay ability. That passive attack up for 1 turn, 35% chance. You really need to up that, so you have a 35% chance of getting it because you want to get it as much as possible. But it could be, if you don't have pirates on your team, or you just get unlucky, that this set could do absolutely nothing for you in a battle, because this is a percentage chance of happening. You landlubbers is a percentage chance of happening. You don't have any pirates, this does absolutely nothing for you. So unless you're using pirates, I would definitely not suggest this set. Okay, let's take a look at the lighthouse now. So Lighthouse Point has changed. So now, just as we were discussing before with Raft Raiders, with Lighthouse Point, this has a 30% chance of doing accuracy up. Accuracy up means your opponent, you hit your opponent more often, they dodge less. So let's take a look at ability number 5. At the start of each battle, 100% chance to gain accuracy up for 2 turns. Each city hero also has a 100% chance to get debuff immunity for 1 turn. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 100% chance. I like those 100% chances. Takes away any of the randomness that we saw with the Raft Raiders, so I like this. Accuracy up just means that the opponent is less likely to dodge. I don't see a ton of dodges in the game unless they are someone's built specifically for dodges like Lloyd, or they have dodge up. Otherwise, they pretty much hit. But it's always nice to get that extra little assurance, because I have seen some dodges. So it is nice to have that accuracy up so you hit on your beginning turns. This might be a good way to counteract a Lloyd. If you see a Lloyd, the AI is going to pop stealth the first turn and possibly gain dodge up. And having accuracy 2 up for the first 2 turns, you might be able to burn down Lloyd real quick because he's not dodging. So this might be a counteract to Lloyd. The next ability is a Healthy Hand. Role models. Heroes at the end of role model turn, the hero with the lowest health has a 15% chance to heal 5% of their max health. That's actually pretty good. At ability level 5, it's a 25% chance to heal 20% of their max health. That is nothing to sniff at either. 20% of their max health, that could be a couple thousand for a tank. The only problem I'm having with this ability is it says at the end of role model turn. Currently, there are 3 role models in the game: Paramedic Poppy, Officer Primo, and Firefighter Ash. And that's it. Officer Primo is not currently available, so you really only have Paramedic Poppy, which she's supposed to be a really good healer, but I don't think she's as good as Hiker. And Firefighter Ash, she's actually a pretty good damage dealer. So I would probably, if I were to roll Lighthouse Point, I would see if I could build a team around Paramedic Poppy and Firefighter Ash to see what kind of team I could build around them so that I could get this passive debuff as much as possible. And lastly, a Shining Light. So whenever a city hero deals damage, there's a 15% chance to clear 1 random debuff. This just means that the Firefighter Ash team and the Paramedic Poppy team that I'm going to build is going to be a city hero team. That's what that means. Because if I am getting this debuff anyway, clear random debuffs from themselves, that's a good way to get rid of some things. It may not always proc, and you may not always have a debuff to clear, which is why this set is not rated extremely highly. It The best ability I think in this set is a healthy hand. Um, and that you got to really build a specific team around that in order to utilize this to the best of its ability. So you really have to pay attention to what you're doing to utilize the lighthouse point to its best ability. Okay, let's take a look at the Space Spy Track 1. Spy Track 1, okay. So first of all, this set used to grant speed up. They've removed that. It no longer grants speed up at all. So it used to be a debate between the guarded in and the spy track as to which one is better. And now I don't think there's really a debate anymore. So let's take a look. G-Force, passive, whenever a space hero deals damage. I don't use a lot of space heroes on my team, but whenever they deal damage, there's a 10% chance to debilitate. To remind you all, debilitate, you apply debilitate to an enemy, and then the next attack, they get their pep reduced by 100%. So good to take them out of turn, make sure they don't go in a turn-based game. That's huge. Let's see what happens when I level this up to 5. It jumps from a 10% chance to 20% chance, plus if there's plus 5% chance for any wanted or Blacktron foes. So you're talking Crooked Chuck, Highwayman, Blacktron Dwayne, and I think one more that I can't quite remember. Not a lot of wanted or Blacktron foes, and not a lot of wanted or Blacktron foes played in the arena. So just keep that in mind when using this set. This might be better for PvE. You can't hide. Okay, so this is interesting. This is what they replaced. This is a brand new ability. Foes who have stealth have their attack reduced by 5%. It bumps up to foes who have stealth have their attack reduced by 15%. If they are wanted, reduced by additional 4% for each active Justice hero. So that is kind of, I like the theming to this, where it is Justice heroes going after wanted heroes stealthing and hiding, and Justice heroes attacking them. Could be good as the anti-stealth team. A lot of people use Lloyd in their arena. Lloyd pops up stealth on everyone the first turn. So having their attack reduced by 15% means that they're not going to do nearly as much damage. So that could be very useful in the arena if you're going up against a Lloyd. And then the last passive ability is the Law 1. Whenever a Justice hero deals damage, they have a 10% chance to inflict speed down for 1 turn. So I think that what's going to happen is this percent chance is going to go up when you level it up to 5. This speed down is going to go to speed down 2. And this turn is going to go from 1 to 2. But I don't think they're going to add more Justice heroes. Or more heroes than just Justice. So there aren't a lot of Justice heroes. You have Admiral Nonsuch, you have Captain Valiant, which aren't even space heroes. The Justice heroes you have Primo. The Justice heroes you have are not space heroes. So that makes it interesting because you can't hide, and the Law 1 really focus on Justice heroes, but Debilitate, the G-Force, really focuses on space heroes, and you really don't have overlap between space and Justice heroes. So you really got to pick what you want to use this for. So there's no best choice for a space or a Justice hero team. There's no best choice of what it is you want to do with them. You can't ever utilize all these abilities at once unless you have a mixed bag team, in which case you're not really leveraging G-Force to its fullest extent, or you're not leveraging Justice to its fullest extent. So that puts it a little bit lower on my book too. And my favorite last time I did this video was the Guarded In, and my favorite today is the Guarded In. So the Guarded In has 3 different abilities. The first one is whenever a castle hero taunts, they gain grit up for 2 turns, and each hero gains 1 stack of heal over time for 2 turns. So I leveled this up as much as I possibly could right now. So this becomes whenever a castle hero taunts, grit up for 2 turns, heal over time for 3 turns. So heal over time heals a flat 3% of the max health of the character, which is a nice little bonus. And I do use a castle hero that taunts in my battles. I use Go-Go. He is a castle hero that taunts, so he does get this grit up for 2 turns and can apply heal over time. And pretty much whenever I taunt with Go-Go, it is because my other units are getting low on health, and I want to keep them alive a little bit more. Have Go-Go get attacked, and then when he gets attacked, he procs his heal. And just this extra little healing over time can really be beneficial. So while not the best ability, Stalwart Defenders is definitely a good one. So the next ability, the best offense, whenever a hero gains defense up, they also gain attack up and a 50% chance to get accuracy down for 1 turn. So as you level this up, as you take it up to level 5, the accuracy down decreases. So right now I'm sitting at a 50% chance for accuracy down. Next level it'll be 50%, then 25, then 0% chance for accuracy down. So whenever they gain defense up, they get attack up. That bumps up to attack up 2, attack up 2. Right. So it bumps up to attack up 2. And I did test this out with my Hiker, because Hiker has a % chance to grant defense up 2 to units. And this does proc on defense up 2, as well as defense up 1, which is good. I think it should proc on defense up 2. That really does, that is in line with what I think it's supposed to do. So whenever defense up 1 or defense up 2, they get attack up 2 for 2 turns. So this is a nice little passive buff that Hiker puts out to grant defense up to the lowest ally. Now becomes defense up and attack up. So it's something that I like. I have a % chance of getting attack up every turn, every Hiker turn. So that's nice. I like the best offense. And the final ability is the ability that I can't wait for the most, is counterattack. At the end of hero's turn, they have a 10% chance to gain payback 1 for 1 turn. So I really want to level this up as quickly as possible, because I can imagine that this goes from a 10% chance up higher, and maybe even increasing this turn from 1 turn to 2 turns, because you can't really do anything else with payback unless you're going to give them bonus damage, and I can't see them doing that. So increasing this has a 10% chance to maybe a 15 or a 20% chance could be game changing. So every round at least one of your guys is getting it if it's a 20% chance, by the math. And if they have it for 2 turns, you're going to have 2 people who have it. A going rate of 2 people who have it. So I can't wait to star this up to 3 stars so I can unlock counterattack, because I think that the Guarded In is the best set in the game now. It provides, I use all of its bonuses. I use each and every single one of these within my team. As long as you use Go-Go and Hiker, you can too. And Go-Go and Hiker are great characters. You're not going to regret investing in them. So just take a look at the sets, figure out what makes the most sense to you. I will note that the tiles have become farmable now. You can go to find tiles. They're all in the mashup energy. So I'll go and farm as many as I can right now. Let's see if I get any tiles. No, I don't get any tiles, but I did get 2 tiles earlier today. And make sure you farm your tiles for the set that you want every day. All the sets are farmable now, so make sure you farm for the set that you want. Also, make sure that you farm. Make sure that you farm for these set bonuses. So the set gear. So here, tier 1 set tool. Make sure you farm for these as much as you can every day. So there's 3 missions available in the mashup that give you this. 1.6, 2.1, and 2.5. They're the only ones that give you this tier 1 set. So make sure you farm this as much as possible every day. Also, you may not notice this, but there are tier 2 sets available. So tier 2 sets are available, and they are available in 3 different tile sets. So they're available in 3.8, as you can see. They're available in 3.4, and they're available in 3.2. So I'm going to be farming Lighthouse just because I'm trying to farm these tier 2 sets. So I don't know if they made tier 3 sets available yet. In these rewards, I haven't unlocked them yet, but I can imagine that they might have those available fairly soon, the tier 3 ability sets. So anyway, make sure you farm those as much as possible. That's really made mashup energy your energy of choice. So I would suggest spending all your gem refreshes on mashup energy for a long time. It has some of the best heroes, and with these sets, it has everything related to sets. It has the tiles, it has the tier sets, the tools that you need to upgrade the abilities. So for me, once the Yeti event is over, so I promised you a ranking, so I will give you a ranking. I would say that Spy Track is number 4 because of its dichotomy. It doesn't really go very well with either set. I would say that Raft Raiders is number 3 because it has 2 abilities that only have a % chance to proc, and then having assists on pirates can be a boon or can be a hindrance depending upon whether or not you have payback or counters to the opponents. Number 2 is Lighthouse. I think that making a city team is going to be beneficial in the future, so I think number 2 is Lighthouse. And my number 1 set is the Guarded Inn. I think that right now it really plays to my playstyle, and I use all of its abilities. There's nothing there that I don't think is nice, so I think the Guarded Inn is my number 1 set right now. So let me know in the comments what you think the sets should be ranked. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and always, check you later.